where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. Running this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. Running this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Bad guys do real shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always on the profit. Fast cars, big dreams, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just the rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city, ain't nobody in our way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Heel Shit Podcast.
Viewer discretion time.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Cordz. That's Draven Grimes. This
From a
is
distance.
HSP, and we are going over the new expanded Vince McMahon allegations. Yeah, probably gonna be a downer, but we'll get into it right after this.
Cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain.
All right, man, how you doing?
I'm not looking forward to this episode. I hope you know that.
We'll be all right.
Just for clarification, I have gone back and re-listened to legitimately every episode of HSP, every episode of Talking Shit, every episode of WIW in its entirety, except for the Vince McMahon allegations, because it made me that fucking sick to my stomach.
Yeah,
I just can't do it.
that was a
That was
it was a
hard.
rough episode.
was
Guys, I put a link to that episode in the description. Yeah, we broke down the entire lawsuit against Vince McMahon by Janelle Grant, all the
60-something
disgusting
fucking
allegations, and which leads us up to this. But before we get into it, if you could do us a favor, like and subscribe wherever you're listening on or watching on.
Mhm.
Also, we've opened up 2 more membership tiers. We've got a 99% tier, which is just called support. If you like the content and it's worth
Did you-
99 cents to you.
You just said 99%.
Oh, my bad. 99 cent. It's worth 99 cents to you. You get the emojis and the normal stuff like that.
Yep.
We have a $1.99 tier, which includes all that stuff plus a couple other things, and then we have the original $4.99 tier, which gets all the membership videos and all that stuff. The $1.99 tier does come with the discounted merch. You get all the essential merch at cost. So there's some good value there, and we'd just really appreciate it. Give you guys shout outs and keep us going here.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Also, real quick on the top, y'all, let's go ahead and get the pleasantries out of the way because I doubt I'm going to want to do them by the time we get done.
Okay.
If you will. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to go ahead and check out the merchandise store, the Streamlabs merch, where all the essential merchandise, as well as the TFK, as well as the Fuck Logan Paul, all of our merchandise at the Streamlabs merch site, as well as don't forget to hit all the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Trovo, Kick, everywhere. You just type in Hill Shit Podcast, you'll find us. And I've been getting questions on this format that we've been doing. This is a temporary thing. I know it kind of seems like we kind of went back to what we originally were doing, but time constraints over the past few weeks have kind of kept us in our home offices. So soon we will be back in the studio full time, both of us, Dark Cordz and Draven Ground. So I want to go ahead and get that acknowledged and out of the way so people will quit asking about it.
All right.
Mainly the ones from my office, but people are asking.
Hey. That's cool.
Yeah, hit the merch, hit the socials, all that good shit. Yeah. So we're good to go now, my guy.
All right, cool. So where are we with this case? Essentially, the original complaint was filed, and as it began the discovery process, then the SEC began a federal SEC violation investigation, and that put this lawsuit on pause. So it wasn't that she didn't have a good case. It wasn't that anything was going wrong with it. They were asked to pause it during that investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That investigation's over. The case is back on track, and she filed an amended complaint with some disturbing allegations.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but do tell.
Yeah. So essentially, we have the amended complaint with the actual red lines, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go through the paragraph she's added and the details that she changed. Originally, paragraph 1 was plaintiff Janelle Grant is a former employee of WWE who was the victim of physical emotional abuse by WWE. She added, which came out in this investigation, she added plaintiff Janelle Grant is a former employee of WWE, as both federal investigators and counsel for John Laurinaitis confirms. I was a victim. So they're going to be able to use a lot of the information that came out. Show meat. Might be on the wrong stream, dog. We don't show meat here.
No, that's the Patreon and the OnlyFans.
Raven's G Spot.
David G Spot, yep.
Let's see. Okay, you have to watch the comments for me today, man. I'm gonna be deep into this.
You're fine, dude. I got them on like 4 different screens, so
cool.
Go for it. If I interrupt you, I interrupt you.
Yep, absolutely. I'm not gonna go through like every bit of the complaint because we literally did that on the show that is linked in the description. You can go back through that, and we break down every bit of it. I'm just trying to go through the new information.
Well, for the ones that don't have time to go and watch the previous episode right now, just hit the high. Well, I say fucking high points. Hit the important markers.
Okay. So Janelle Grant was an employee of WWE. She had never had any experience. She lived in this. I think she worked as a cleaning person in the same building that Vince McMahon lived in.
Okay.
She had no skills. She was taking care of her parents. And then when her parents died, she wasn't able to secure the house in probate. It was upside down, so she lost her parents, she lost the house, she lost her entire living situation. In every way she was making money. She started working for this couple in McMahon's building, introduced her to McMahon. He obviously took a liking to her, made up some bullshit position for her, and then eventually started using this girl as a meat sleeve. I mean, he was offering her up to talent to fuck. He was conducting multiple person gangbangs onto her. There was this one story where he took a shit on her head and made her lay there and finish getting fucked by all these guys with shit on her fucking head. Like, some of the most disgusting behavior I've ever heard. Fucking disgusting. So she brought this suit, and here we are.
Okay.
Essentially, she's saying McMahon used Grant as a commodity, offering her to other men. In March of 2020, McMahon began sharing sexually explicit photographs and videos of Miss Grant, including pornographic content he recorded on a cell phone with other men both inside and outside of the company, including with members of the television production tech team, executive producers, and world famous athlete and former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar, with whom WWE was actively trying to sign a new contract. So,
which up until this amended thing, Brock Lesnar's name was never officially brought into the lawsuit. This was recently officially brought in.
Yeah, so essentially when they're trying to lure Brock to sign another contract, he was like throwing her in as a perk. Like, sign this deal and you'll get use of this woman, like a sex slave, essentially. And sex trafficking is will be part of the FBI investigation for the criminal part. McMahon actively requested, directed, encouraged, insisted, and ultimately conditioned Miss Grant to create and send sexually explicit content during, but not limited to, writers' meetings, production meetings, while running live television broadcasts in guerrilla position, and while on corporate jet traveling both domestically and internationally. McMahon even knowingly solicited and received Miss Grant's sexually explicit content while being filmed for a global streamer. McMahon noticed when Miss Grant did not comply with his directions and inquired or interrogated her about her creation of the content. So I guess sometimes she tried to put up a fight, and he exercised complete ownership and control over both her personal and professional lives. See, this is classic abuser behavior. Is you find somebody who you can then make depend on you for everything.
Yep.
And then you get them to have to, hey, if you want to keep this, everything I've given you, if you want to keep this lifestyle, better start doing this shit, and every time they say, hey, you can leave if you want to, but you're losing all this stuff. Are you sure you want to give this up? That's classic abuser shit.
Yeah.
One example of McMahon's extreme depravity: on March 9th, 2020, he defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome and then commanded her to continue pleasuring his friend with feces in her hair and running down her back, while McMahon went to the bathroom and showered off. Upon his return from the bathroom, McMahon and his friend actively resumed the threesome, which lasted over an hour and a half, while Miss Grant remained covered in McMahon's filth. When McMahon's friend left, McMahon ordered her to stay to continue sexually gratifying him. She begged them to stop, but they forced themselves on her, each taking turns restraining her for the other while saying no means yes and take it, bitch. Events like this left Miss Grant in physical and psychological pain. Miss Grant confided in friends and colleagues about her declining health and moral state, as well as her ongoing grief over the loss of her family, but she was ultimately isolated from that support network by McMahon and his executive enforcers. Classic fucking abuser shit. You make them rely on you. You cut them off from anybody who genuinely has their best interest in heart. I mean, basically down the checklist, abuser husband checklist. I mean, this is every type of sick abusive behavior that you can have in this situation.
Fucking sickening.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, others at WWE knew what was going on, but instead of intervening to protect Grant, WWE viewed and dealt with her as a corporate liability and actively sought to conceal the wrongdoing, both while she was at WWE and after the end of her employment. McMahon himself said to Miss Grant, "Unfortunately, you appear to have my company over a barrel," before transferring her to talent relations. January 22nd of 2022, McMahon told Miss Grant that his wife had found out about their relationship, purportedly to avoid divorce, negative publicity, and other repercussions, and despite the fact that Miss Grant never expressed a desire to take legal action, McMahon said that Miss Grant's time at WWE was at an end, but that he wanted her to sign an NDA to ensure her silence on, among other things, his personal conduct. Ultimately, without any meaningful choice, Miss Grant succumbed to the pressure, signed the NDA in exchange for payments, which McMahon later stopped making. So he essentially said, sign this, you're gonna, let me see if they have the actual, I don't see the actual dollar amounts, but he was supposed to make payments over a certain period of time, and as soon as she left, he stopped making payments.
Wasn't she in that same category with the $3 million or some shit?
I think something like that, but I think he only made a couple of payments to her.
Yeah, it was something like that. I think it was like a total of 12 million, and he was doing it in $3 million increments, and I think after the third payment, he cut it off.
Continues.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm like 90% sure that's what it was.
Yeah. Even after pushing Miss Grant out of the company and muzzling her with an NDA, McMahon continued efforts to exploit her, including attempting to traffic her to WWE star Brock Lesnar, who would be in New York City for a live event and TV taping in March of 2022. So in January of 2022, he had broke it off with her, made her sign the NDA, and kicked her out of the company. And just 2 months later, he's still trying to traffic this girl to Brock Lesnar. Fuck.
Dude.
Goes through the whole.
You're probably gonna be doing most of the talking. I'll put in where I can, but this is just.
Yeah.
This is heavy. Heavy.
Understandably, defendant's predatory conduct has left Miss Grant crippled both physically and mentally, including from debilitating symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and suicidal ideation. These symptoms led to her termination from her subsequent job, running her building's operations due to her inability to leave home for weeks at a time. Despite McMahon's promise of reputational protection, meaning that he would not disparage her reputation and take active steps to protect it, WWE appears to have leaked information that led to the public disclosure of her name by a media blogger who cited a source in WWE with direct knowledge of the situation, which, upon information and belief, was an overt intimidation tactic aimed at Miss Grant. So, even though she never said she wanted to sue the guy, even though she signed the NDA, even though she did everything that she was supposed to do, just in case she was even contemplating doing anything, they leaked her shit. Just to be like, look, we can fuck with you.
Being petty. Just straight up being petty.
It's fucking disgusting. WWE has also attempted to sweep the matter under the rug following media reports that McMahon was involved in a quote-unquote hush money payment scandal. WWE released a statement in June 2022 to announce that a special committee of its board of directors was investigating the allegations of misconduct and appointing WWE corporate officer number 3 as interim CEO and interim chairwoman. See, it's interesting because in the original complaint, they just said that was Stephanie McMahon. It said investigating alleged and appointing Stephanie McMahon as interim CEO and interim chairwoman, which we know who that is. But everywhere that references Stephanie McMahon, they now refer to her as corporate officer number 3.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Not that it's hiding anything, since everyone can fucking see that it's Stephanie McMahon. In this capacity, Stephanie publicly affirmed her commitment to doing everything in her power to help the special committee complete its work and to implement its findings. She also declared the importance of a safe and collaborative workspace. Notwithstanding this public statement, the investigation was a sham. In November of 2022, WWE tied the conclusion of the special committee investigation into the misconduct, yet the special committee never even bothered to interview Miss Grant or request any documents despite Miss Grant stating she would cooperate. So, doing all this bullshit, pretending you're going to investigate, and then you don't even talk to the woman whose name is in, like, probably the most synonymous with this issue, and not even speaking to her to investigate. Like, come the fuck on. This whole thing was bullshit. So right there, we're gonna go ahead and take our first commercial break, mostly because I need a break from reading, and second, because we're not done talking about this. Let's get into it right after this.
Let me introduce you to our new sponsor, Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. Check this out. They sent us this huge box of samples with all these amazing flavors, from traditional flavors like the OG and ranch, to unique flavors like cinnamon churro and my favorite, backyard barbecue.
Absolutely, man. Let's not forget the garlic parmesan, the cracked black pepper, and my personal favorite, the maple brown sugar. It is grade A, phenomenal, my guy.
So me, Draven, and Miner all sat down, went through all these flavors. Of course, we each had our favorite, but one thing we agreed on, this is an amazing brand. If you're a sunflower seed eater, definitely need to check this out. If you're not a sunflower seed eater, you still need to check these out because they got a flavor that you like, without question. Miner's favorite was dill pickle. I like the barbecue. Use the link in the description and enjoy.
All right, we are back, and we have a visitor.
Oh, yeah?
Minor Cordz is in the building.
Okay, so I tried out a new class today. It was actually at gymnastics. And thing was good. Then conditioning started. They made us do 80 lemon squeezes, 10 push-ups all the way down. We went on the trampoline and we did 20 right split jumps, 20 middle splits, and 20 left splits without stopping. If we stopped, we have to start over. and then we did 30 tricep. I wanted to
Wow.
die. I can't feel my leg.
What are lemon
So-
squeezes?
Thank you. You beat me to it.
Oh,
why.
it's like it's a crunch using your knees and elbows,
Yeah.
like a stomach
I was-
crunch. Like we
I was
used to just call them stomach crunches. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Minor is a competitive dancer, and she was a competitive gymnast before she broke her back. I broke my back, spinal,
Final.
spinal.
My legs and arms really hurt.
Broke my back. My back is broken. Spinal. All right, kiddo. I'm glad you're home. Did you have fun? Anyway. Alright. I'll be
your
out when
boys in
I'm
the
done.
chat. Your boys in the chat.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Shh. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Look, don't be Elwood breaking down our stuff in here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Last thing I need is more shit to fix when I come back.
All right.
By the way, did you get rid of that pissy smell from the fucking change?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank God. I hope so.
Well, you that
That's this one.
Fabuloso.
Shit,
Fabuloso.
bitch, I need the power of pine saw, baby.
All right. So, when we took the break, we had found that they never even interviewed her for this internal investigation. So that's where we are. In SEC filings, the company tried to divert attention away from Mr. McMahon's abuse of women by focusing on the technical issue of how much hush money was accounted for. In the words of the company, the issue was immaterial accounting errors relating to certain payments that Mr. McMahon agreed to make during a period from 2006 through 2022. So they had no intention of talking about or investigating the sexual abuse. They didn't even want to say what the payments were going to. Just that he made these payments. Moving on, in January of 2025, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission charged McMahon for violating federal securities laws by failing to disclose the NDA. So they didn't. So yeah, I guess the result is that they did finally charge him by failing to disclose the NDA, and that is in dispute in this case. Despite the public assertion that he did not engage in any intentional wrongdoing, McMahon consented to the entry of the SEC's order finding that he violated the Securities and Exchange Act by knowingly circumventing WWE's internal accounting controls. So he obviously was charged with SEC violations. It's not a court; it's an administrative process, but they have SEC type authority. They can withdraw your public charter. They can fine you. Blah blah blah. But apparently they charged him, and he consented to entry the judgment. I'm not sure what his punishment is.
Will they release that to the public?
I'm sure they will. Yeah, I would imagine they'd have to. Well, yeah, I don't know, but they should release it.
Okay.
Through all this trauma, Mascarenas endured profound suffering and silence, feelings of exploitation, loss of security, and the fear of facing the wrath of WWE and McMahon's army of attorneys if she were to come forward and bring to light the egregious acts detailed herein. That time has passed, and Ms. Grant seeks to hold them accountable for their reprehensible and unlawful acts. Seeks judgment, blah, blah, blah. Defendant Vince McMahon, a Canadian citizen, co-founder of WWE in 1980 and served on the board until September of 2023. He resigned from his position as executive chairman of the board for TKO 1 day after this lawsuit was filed. And then they go through who corporate officer number 2 was Brad Bloom. Let's see, corporate officer number 1 was Nick Khan. Number 3 was obviously Stephanie. We already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Nurse, WWE Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Secretary, head of the Legal Affairs Department. Brock Lesnar, and the jurisdiction.
Was any other names besides Brock Lesnar released?
No, other than the corporate officers. Let me see here. So the allegations. Yeah, just rewording. There are some text messages here sent from McMahon. On the heels of signing a $7.5 million NDA with another woman in February of 2019, McMahon responded enthusiastically and proposed times to meet with Miss Grant to discuss employment. The resident manager, the person that she knew in the building, passed along Miss Grant's resume to McMahon and shared a screenshot of McMahon's response to the prospective meeting of Miss Grant, in which McMahon indicates the residential manager was giving Janelle to him. Here is the text message. Hell yeah, if she's anything like you, she's hired. Anything like you, she's hired. Blank. Shit, probably a curse word. I would do anything for you. Thank you so much for thinking of me. We both love to give. I'm thrilled. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I have some errands to run early Friday morning, but how about she drops by around 10:45 on Friday at my place, or I'm around this weekend. Thanks again, name, for allowing me to give to you. I'm over the moon. Come to think of it, you're probably giving to. All right, his fucking texting is ridiculous. Thanks again, name, for allowing me to give to you. I'm over the moon. Come to think of it, you're probably giving to me. Can't wait to meet her. Jesus Christ, he's fucking retarded with his texting.
Nobody said he was perfect.
Huh?
Nobody said he was perfect.
In August 2021, McMahon told Miss Grant that after she left her initial meeting, he immediately returned to the chair where she had sat. And oh, okay, so this goes through some more things. He talked her into masturbating in front of him. Miss Grant even expressed to resident manager that she was unsure of how to thank a CEO, as her main experience with interviewing in the past had been with human resource representatives.
Anything else worth it?
Text. I have a question. Typically, as in an interview, you send an email and thank the interviewer. But in this scenario, Vince gave me his number. I have no email except Paul and Mickey. I'd like to say thank you for promising to help me / possibly change my life, but I do not want it to come across the wrong way. The text seems close to crossing the line. Would leaving a nice written Hallmark card and a pastry for the guys seem like a nicer touch? I'm used to dealing with HR, not the CEO directly. What would you do? I would do whatever fits best with the way the whole thing went down. Yeah, cheers with Oreos. Keep it enthusiastic and text them. Yeah, so this woman is trying to feed her to McMahon.
Okay.
And most of these, I'm not going through all the disgusting details again. You can watch the other show. But the big takeaways from this, get my list. All right, here are the major things that came out of this this amended complaint.
Okay.
McMahon allegedly offered Grant to WWE superstar Brock Lesnar for a sexual encounter during contract negotiations and instructed her to send sexually explicit content to Lesnar. A text message where McMahon graphically detailed a fantasy of men surrounding Grant and leaving her physically wrecked, in quotes. Number 3, messages indicating that McMahon believed only he had the authority to quote-unquote arrange Grant's sexual encounters. Next, an instance where McMahon allegedly recorded Grant while she was nude without her knowledge or consent. Next, details surrounding an investigation WWE claimed to conduct in 2022, which purportedly ignored Grant's testimony. A voice message from McMahon in which he pressured Grant to sign an NDA, quote, really fucking fast, unquote, to avoid repercussions for himself. And a text from McMahon stating, I'm the only one who owns you and controls who I want you to fuck. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. That's fucking disgusting. Got sucked off in a porta john. Dude, I'd go get tested if I were you, son.
Oh, I was concerned about it. I just want to make sure he had his uncle's chin wiped off before they walked out.
You're in the wrong chat room if you're trying to talk shit in here, brother. Just letting you know.
Oh no, he's in the right chat room. He's in the right chat room tonight.
Oh man.
All right. Takeaways from this shit, dude.
Takeaways from this shit is Vince McMahon is a disgusting motherfucker, and he doesn't have enough years of life left to be punished enough for the shit that he's done to these women.
100% agree.
This motherfucker deserves to be put in prison in general population, and everyone needs to know he was a sexual abuser. That's what he needs.
Is that going to happen? Probably not.
Fuck no, it's not going to happen.
Probably not. Unless they're going to put him in the same cell with Diddy. That'd be interesting.
That
would be interesting.
Yeah, this is fucking bananas.
So let me ask you this, because we kind of talked about it during the Rumble. With Lesnar now being named in the allegation, and they've name dropped him at the Rumble, and he's still on the active roster list. Do they kind of backtrack and take him back off the active roster list, or do they just?
Did they ever take him down?
No, I checked it a while ago. He's still on the active roster list.
I mean, like anytime.
Yes. When the original allegations were done last year, they did take him off the active roster list. He wasn't even on alumni. He was nowhere to be found on the website. He was Chris Benoit.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what to tell you on that. I don't think that it definitely doesn't look good to bring him back.
Oh hell no! Otherwise, you'd had him back at the Rumble. I guarantee it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I don't know how they could make it not look absolutely disgusting if he came back.
You put him against Hulk Hogan again. That's about the only way.
Yeah.
Real being real. So is there a time frame of give you?
This is how a lawsuit works. Um,
Well, you said he's already been charged with it, correct?
well, no,
And
this is a civil suit. This is
Okay.
her trying to seek monetary damages.
Mhm.
Whatever the SEC did with him, I don't know, but that doesn't have anything to do with this, other than the fact that it brought some evidence to light.
Okay.
But essentially, you file a lawsuit. The other side has generally 21 days to respond, unless they file for an extension. She just filed this amended complaint, so they then get a reset on that time to file this. Since we're at the complaint and answer stage still, I mean, we might still be looking for 3 or 4 or 5 years unless he settles it.
Well,
I mean,
here's the thing. He's had all this shit come to light, and to me, this is some damning shit. What would have to fucking come out at this point, short of him being responsible for fucking Chris Benoit's suicide, for him to fucking settle?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't do any good to settle.
Mm.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
there's a real possibility that he never even sees the end of these lawsuits or FBI investigation. He could fucking die anytime. He's ancient.
We know that.
So,
So
I mean, he
so
might
let me-
just be trying to run out the clock.
He's doing a damn good job. He's doing a damn good job. So let me ask you this: if he does happen to pass away with all the civil suit shit going on, how would that work? Would the next of kin have to deal with this shit? Would
No,
it
it would
null and
technically be
voided?
against his estate, which, depending on how good his estate planning is, could be nothing. I mean, if he's got money set up in trusts and all this stuff, and he doesn't have any necessarily liquid assets that aren't protected by trust, there could be nothing to get.
Which if Vince is anything, he's fucking cerebral. He's smart as fuck. So
Yeah.
more likely he's already taken these steps to ensure in case something happens.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I'm sure it's been done for a long time. There's a look back period, like if they can show, I think it's 2 or 3 years, where they can show that if you made a huge transfer of money or assets out of your name, they can unwind it, because they could say, well, it was because he was trying to protect it from this actual scenario.
Right.
Protect it from the liability that this lawsuit seeks to impose.
So reverse that, and what if he made various smaller amounts over a certain time frame? Would they also flag that as well?
The problem is when you're that rich, he's got it set. He's either got all his money in a Cayman's account, or he's got it layered in trusts that are irrevocable, so he technically can't touch it. So if it's out of his control, they can't go after it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, there's all kinds of games that you play for that shit.
Well, I don't know if I should say fortunately or unfortunately, I'll never really have to get into that nitty gritty shit. I guess fortunately at this point. But shit, man. So let me ask you this, and this is more on the personal
Well,
side.
hold that thought. Let's go to our last commercial,
Go ahead.
and then we can talk some questions.
Fine.
Havoc Energy Drink is the energy drink for gamers and streamers by gamers and streamers. Not only does it have the B vitamins and caffeine that you're used to in your energy drinks, but it also has a healthy dose of creatine for mental acuity to help you win that next game or focus through that next stream. Go to tryhavocenergy.com and enter the code HSP10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Again, that's tryhavocenergy.com. Enter the code HSP10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Also, if you use the link in the description, you can get your first month of a new Amazon Unlimited subscription. It's only $9.99 after that, and you can cancel at any time. Get unlimited access to over 100 million songs at the click of a button, and get your first month on the Heel Shit podcast. All right. So, what was your question? And guys, if you guys are watching, you have any questions over this, the Vince McMahon lawsuit and any of that new allegations, give us your questions.
Put them in the chat.
Yeah,
Don't worry about Mr. Dillinger in there. I don't think he's coming back. He's going to get a rabies test and an AIDS test and all that shit. So, and this is like I said, this is more from a personal standpoint. How as far as Lesnar's concerned, if you were in his shoes, how would this necessarily affect not just your marriage, but like your relationship with your kids, your peers? Like put yourself in Brock's shoes right now with these allegations coming out.
Well, the sad thing is we don't know about his relationship with Sable. Maybe she's fine with him playing like that. I think the embarrassment in that scenario, the embarrassment of it coming out is the bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not good. I mean, he's got, a college age daughter. How do you explain it to your kids? I have no fucking idea. How do you explain that to your daughter that, yeah, daddy tried to own this chick as a sex slave? Kind of a rough discussion.
100%.
Rough discussion.
It is, dude. And I know, we always hear, we would never see that coming from so and so. We never thought he would do this or do that. Honestly, Brock seemed like so fucking secluded in his fucking lifestyle that honestly, to me, it kind of felt like how we are with our wives, where if it's really any other woman other than our wives, we really just don't fucking deal with anything.
I don't know, man.
So for to have that visual of Brock for years and years and years and years, and then all of a sudden all this shit comes up, it's perturbing.
See, I see it a little bit different. He lives as a recluse, so we don't know the real Brock Lesnar. We don't know who he really is because he's never anywhere to be seen. You mix that with the fact that you're super fucking famous and everyone knows you're rich. I mean, he probably gets ass thrown at him anywhere he goes, I'm sure. So we don't know if he is a good person in real life. We don't know anything about him.
Fair point.
which is the benefit and a problem with being that secluded. I mean, not that it rises to this level by any means, but nobody suspected Ted Kaczynski of anything. He was completely secluded. He lived off the land. Yeah.
Very fair. Very fair.
So
What
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
is, so what you're saying is we shouldn't be that secluded.
Probably not. We
But we
want to
could-
at least
we do.
appear normal.
We do every Sunday
Yes.
between the hours of 9 and 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's enough. It's
I mean-
about as decent as I can be.
With your bougie ass waffles.
Dude, I don't give a fuck. Yo, if you're ever in Northeast Florida, find this little chain of restaurants called Grumpy's. They're only open for breakfast and lunch,
6 to 2.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Sundays, they have the special. It is a Belgian waffle with a slice of cheesecake and strawberries drizzle. Like whole strawberries and a little bit of drizzle. It is a strawberry cheesecake waffle, and god damn it, it is the greatest thing I've ever put in my mouth, including any other human. Okay?
I'm taking that exactly how you said it.
That's fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Dillinger know about it.
Yeah. Sorry. I've never come.
By the way,
I've never come
remember-
across a woman that tastes as good as this breakfast. I'm sorry.
I disagree with you. But I want you to remember what you told me at the beginning of this year when you first ordered it back in January. You only order this shit like twice a year.
Yeah, and now I can't stop.
And yeah, that's the problem. You've ordered that twice. You've ordered the apple pie waffle.
I'm not gonna get that again. I'm good on that.
I'm telling you that number 5, sub eggs, cheese grits, hash browns, well done, order of bacon. Magnifico.
Telling you, bro, that you like breakfast food. Well, their lunches are really good too, but I like
to think that what I order is like the perfect balance between their breakfast and their lunch.
Sorry, guys, we got off on this, but
I have to go back to the Krispies. Get the Krispies instead of the hash browns. But yes.
yeah, seriously though, if you guys are ever in Northeast Florida, look up Grumpy's breakfast and lunch place, little
Matter
diner.
of fact, pull out your little notepad and write email Grumpy's about sponsorship because we just plugged them for free. And that's not cool.
We did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck.
So I really don't have any closing thoughts on this other than TBD. Basically, I just want to wait and see what happens over the next couple months, and if we have to revisit this again, we will. But we're probably not going to dedicate a full show to it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We probably won't go as deep into it.
Well, I mean, I'm not depressed and upset and suicidal and shit like I was last time. So I think we accomplished what we needed to accomplish without getting too far into the trenches.
Yeah. Good man. And just so you know that I don't talk out of my ass on this shit, I practiced law for over 17 years so far. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yep. Not only is he my best friend, he's also my attorney. So it all works out. All right. So we already hit the pleasantries, but I think I'll hit it one more time just for the ones that weren't here earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget. Oh, fuck. I forgot. Fuck.
Follow all our socials.
There we go. Follow
all the socials at Heel Shit Podcast.
Yep. If you have any questions, send them to the email, send them to the socials. We're pretty quick on the responses to them. Do not forget that tomorrow night will be WIW with Dark Horse, Draven Grimes, and Edgar from Snug Wrestling. He'll be joining us to basically deal with the fallout of the Raw after the Rumble, as well as a couple of other hot stories going on. Do not forget that this coming up Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be talking shit with Dark Cordz and Draven Grimes. Actually, it's not talking shit. It's the first of the month. It's nerd shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's our monthly nerd recap show. I've been nerding quite a bit, so it's going to be quite enjoyable, at least on my behalf. And let's see, don't forget the merch. The merch is beautiful. Okay, making sure you didn't forget your spot. I know it happened one time in 2 years, but it bothers me that you forgot one time. As always, we have the Forbidden Kingdom merchandise. We have Heel Shit Podcast merchandise. We have the Paul Watcher shirt. We have the Fuck Logan Paul shirt, and the uncensored and the censored for the fucking snowflakes out there. Hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, shorts, cups. We're almost done with the prototype dildo. So Dillinger, be on the lookout for that because I know you want it in your ass. And by the way, I'm going to start a GoFundMe for myself just because I saw a phone blow into 7 pieces and I'm emotionally distraught and I need to hypothetically get over that. So yeah, with that, I think that's about it. Oh, I did forget one thing. Like he talked about earlier, the premium YouTube accounts, the 99-cent, the $1.99, the $4.99. Every bit of it helps. We appreciate everyone that does sign up for it. For the $4.99, obviously you get all the perks. You get the custom emojis, you get the videos, you get the merch. The $1.99, you get the emojis, you get the merch, and then the 99-cent, you just get the emojis. Anything else? If you have any ideas for anything that we could further exploit, so to speak, also hit us up on heelshitpodcast@gmail.com or any of the socials, and let's do business.
All right.
I think that's about it.
Sounds good. Well, hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. For Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Cordz. This has been Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Bad guys do heel shit. Peace.
Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm.